Hey, howdy, hey, everybody. This is Pete. It's a Sunday morning, and it's a beautiful Sunday morning. And yeah, there's no leaves on the trees out there, but it's been so miserable around here the past few days. It's been cloudy and rainy and snowy and all that. So to have a Sunday where the sun's just shining, let me tell you something. That's a treat. Makes you want to get up and do something. Um, but look, the reason I brought you here today, the reason I'm doing a video anyway, is I got this old ukulele right here, and I got it off eBay, and paid $13 for it. And what I'll do is I love fixing stuff. I love trying to fix stuff, and I know sometimes I get in way over my head, but that's fun because you learn something. Even if you totally mess up and you have to start over, at least you've learned something. But I got this. I do all these weird searches on eBay. I'll type in antique toy guitar or, vintage toy play guitar, and you'll get every now and then you'll get something that comes up. And this came up, and it cost me more to ship it than it cost for the ukulele. I'll tell you that right now. And these tuners that I put on here, when it showed up, it didn't have any. It had a couple of tuners, but they were really tore up really bad. And so these Grover tuners that I got on here definitely cost more than the ukulele did, but I've had them for a few years. I bought them to put on a really nice ukulele years ago, and they just didn't fit, and I couldn't send them back, so they ended up working on this. But when I got it, it was really bad. I've cleaned it, I've polished it, and it's still got some scratches. I may fill those in a little bit. You can see some of them, but I think that gives it character. I really do. The research I've done on it, and just from my own personal knowledge, I can tell you it's probably from the early 40s, late 30s. Regal started putting a long fingerboard after that, and they may have done a little bit before that, but their base model ukuleles had this where the neck goes right into the body. And I tell you what, I told myself I wasn't going to buy any more of these, and $13, I couldn't pass it up. So what I do is I usually have a ukulele in there in the closet that once I've cleaned it up and it plays okay, it may not be perfect, but it plays okay. If there's a kid out there somewhere and they really want to learn how to play, I'll hand it off to them. And somebody, if it gets tore up, and I know it's vintage, a lot of you are probably cringing out there because I just said that I'd give a vintage instrument to a kid, but the way I look at it is if I can get a kid to play a ukulele or just an instrument in general or care anything about music, I think I've won. I think I've done a good thing. But see this right here? That popped off after I got some strings on it. And honestly, this should probably be a ukulele warning video, ladies and gentlemen, warning, if you've got an old ukulele from the 30s that's been in somebody's attic and you string it up, the chances are very high that the bridge will pop off and hit you in the forehead and put a gash in it. So, proceed with caution. Anyway, but I wanted to show you what I was doing real quick. I mean, I've cleaned it up, I've polished the old brass frets, and got them all cleaned up. And I don't want to clean it up too much because it's a vintage and I want it to look vintage, so I don't want it to look brand new. But the other thing is I can tell it's a Regal, and there's still some of the old blue Regal logo left on here from the 40s. And even right here, I don't know if you can see it. I'm trying to make it focus in on that, but there's a little bit of a crown left right there. And a little bit of blue over here left too. And the shape, but even if you didn't have that, the shape of the head is definitely Regal, and the way the head goes down into the neck, it's a Regal. There's no way. I mean, on the back, that's a Regal, and if it's not a Regal, it was made by Regal for somebody else. But you can look these up on the internet all day long, and you can see this pattern on the Regals. I mean, I know that one just from messing around with old vintage instruments. But anyway, I wanted to show you what I was doing and let you see what's going on here, and give you a little heads up and say, hey, look, I'm pretty sure if I could do this, anybody can do this. And, I'm just going to tell you, ukulele players, they tend to be a little bit more happier person. and from what I've noticed anyway, and my own personal observations, ukulele players out there tend to be a little bit more gracious with other people, and they tend to have just wonderful personalities. The ones I've met, They're just fun to talk to, fun to be around. They're just lively. And people like that, if you're out in public playing a ukulele and you're getting out there and strumming, kids tend to gravitate towards you. I mean, they love a person that's out there and outgoing and bubbly and just love being around them. And if you can get that kid to play a ukulele, to me, that's what it's all about. And it doesn't have to be a ukulele. I mean, I'm sorry, why am I focused on my coffee? Maybe I want to drink a coffee. But if you can get that kid to play a ukulele or any instrument, I think you have made a big, 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 big win in your favor. I really do. I think music makes the world a whole lot happier, don't you? I just think it does. Anyway, well, when I get done, I'm going to add to the end of this a little video to show what it sounds like when it's done, and it's going to take the rest of the day for the bridge to cure, and then I'll probably put some strings on it tonight and see. But anyway, there you go. I'll see you at the end of the video. Okay. All right. Are you ready? Here we go. We'll start from the head. There she is. Can you see the grain on there? I'm gonna move on down. There's my new tuners, and it's got an ebony nut here. It's got stenciled fret markers, just paint, and got brass frets. Let me tell you something. In brass frets. These old 30s instruments, I don't know why, but they sure didn't take any time and pride in filing down the edges, or there's something that I just don't know. But every single one of these I've ever gotten that's got fret, these old 30s frets will slice your hand off. So you got to take the time and file them down, and I still got a couple there that I still need to work on. But moving on down the body, there we go. Look at there. Now look at the grain. It's got a little bit of a spot right there that I'm going to leave there. I think it's pretty. It's got stenciled markings around the sound hole, just paint. There's the side. There's this other side. Still got a little bit of paint there, and just in case I bang it, I won't feel so bad if I knock it on something there. So I left that there, and actually I think it adds character. It's been around the block or two there. But I think it's pretty. Tell you something else too. See that right there? There's my phone. You can see that. Look at that. Hey, when Pete shines something up, he shines it good. Let me tell you. But look, there she is. I'm proud of it. I think it sounds really good, and I want to clarify a couple things real quick. In the first part of the video, I was showing you where I had the bridge taped on and had it glued. And let me tell you something, popped off 2 more times, and it's actually a funny story, but end result of it is I epoxied it on, popped off, second time, hit me in the forehead. That's twice I got popped in the forehead. Epoxied it on again, and epoxy usually holds everything, and I'm saying epoxy, it's just in a southern dialect, and but it's epoxy, and it's a marine grade, and it ain't going nowhere when you put it on usually, but I don't know if the chemicals are wrong or something like that, but it did not hold. The second time I put it on, let it sit for 2 days, and that stuff, let me tell you, I thought it was fine. I did it again, I stringed it up, didn't last 10 minutes, popped off and about took out the wife and the dog across the room. No joke. Anyway, but this time it's wood glue, put it on, and it's been a mixed blessing because the old bridge, before I messed with it, I was debating anyway whether to take it off or even fool with it. I'd originally got this thinking that I would clean it up and have it as a kicker, and in the South what that means is it's something, no matter what it is, but it's something that you got that you don't care how it's treated or how well it's taken care of. So you call it a kicker. You can kick it to the curb anytime you want to, and I thought this would be a kicker because I figured some kid would take it and just literally beat the crap out of it, and I'd never see it again, but it'd be something they could learn on. And I think I'm reevaluating that. This little guy sounds really good. It's got a great sound to it. I've been playing it for a few days. That first video I took was about a week ago, and since then I've played it, and it's starting to sound better and better. It's starting to resonate even better and better. So I really don't want to mess anything, but I took the bridge and I sanded off the back of it so that the action would be better on this. And if you don't know what action is very simply put the distance between the string and the fretboard. It's for playability, accessibility, and flexibility on your fingerboard, and that's a whole lot of abilities, ain't it? But it also allows you to transition up and down the neck a whole lot easier if it's got less space between the fretboard and the string when you get up in your higher notes. So, but anyway, I had sanded it down, reattached it, and I had to make some openings here for the knots to fit into. The way the thing was shaped, it's all one piece, and I had to make it work, and I think I did just fine. Anyway, there she is. She's done, and I'm pretty much tickled. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to put the my Duke on here. Duke is the name of my goat. That if I'm going to keep an instrument and plan on keeping it, and I usually put him on here. It's a little personal joke between me and my wife. One night I was singing and I was pretty proud of myself. I got all the way through a song, which is rare for me. Most of the time I get halfway through a song and I go on to something else, and I got all the way through the song and I was kind of proud of it, and I looked over and I said, you know what, honey, do you think I sound like Mel Torme? Do you think I sound like the Velvet Goat? Wait a minute, I just messed that up. I said, do you think I sound like Mel Torme, the Velvet Fog, and which is what it's supposed to be? And she said, no, I think you sound more like a velour goat. And I said, and it stuck. So if you see my instruments and they got this little goat on here, he's got sunglasses and a bow tie, which suits me to a T. I made him like that. I like it. But anyway, I'm trying to decide if I'm going to keep this or not. And let me tell you something else real quick. I think I said this originally. I had made a quote, and let me clarify it real quick. I had said in the first video I wasn't going to buy another one of these, and let me tell you what that means. It's not that I'm going to buy a video. A video. I've had 2 cups of coffee, and for some reason I can't talk straight. It's not that I wouldn't buy another ukulele. These old 30s instruments like this, certain brands, the neck is straight into the body, and for a finger picker like me, my style, it doesn't allow me enough space between there and the body to fingerpick and not tear up the ukulele. And the last one I had, it was beautiful, it had a great sound to it, loved it, and I tore it up trying to play it. and I just couldn't do it. I mean, I didn't have the heart to do it. It was an old 30s instrument, and I didn't have the heart to tear up a ukulele. And no matter what kind of ukulele it is, from the cheapest to the most expensive, I don't have the heart to tear something up like that. And so I told myself I wouldn't get any more like that. Well, this thing pops up on eBay, and I debated back and forth and whether I was going to get it or not. And the end result was I said I can't pass it up, because if there's a kid out there that would learn, I could get it for them. So now, here we go. I got it. I like the sound of it, and I'm debating what I'm going to do with it. You know, I mean, if I was a really nice guy, I'd say I was having a giveaway here on my web page and let somebody have it. But I think I like this one a lot, and I'm having the same problem I had with the last one. The only difference is it's not so close that I can't do what I want to do. Anyway, there she is. There's Miss Regal. Now, I don't tell you what. I usually kind of feel around and find a name and see what suits the instrument and stuff like that. So I got a lot of looking to do if I'm going to keep it, and a lot of looking to do if I think I'm going to find a name for it. But thought you might enjoy seeing it. It's ended up being a 11-minute video on this part. So I'm sorry if you sat all the way through this. Anyway, talk to you later. Y'all have a good one. Have a good Saturday. And I got to get working on my ukulele, daily ukulele this week. So I'll be doing that here in a little bit. Anyway, y'all have a good one. Bye now.